top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Government continues to make flimsy excuses as power outage situation worsens, says David Patterson. Police still silent on missing cocaine. Further testing of evidence revealed flour instead. And murdered Lindeners laid to rest amid call for justice. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Monday, April 21 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. The bodies of the murdered Linden duo were laid to rest on Sunday in a joint ceremony where politicians and family members called for justice. Dacia Richards is on this story.
Ronaldo Peters, who was gunned down on Monday, April 7, and Keon Fugone, who was shot and killed during a riot in response to Peters' death, were laid to rest on Sunday. Sharma Solomon, mayor of Linden, called on the community and the families of the young men to be patient and restrained as they await justice.
We ask those in authority to be mindful as they see diligently we hold these restraints, to understand that justice is the only pursuit and what we will only relent from.
Leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, recalled that justice was not served for the 3 men killed in a protest in Linden in 2012, and added that there should have been an independent body developed to investigate the Guyana police force.
And therefore now, you have to insist as one of the basic minimum requirements is that they must establish an institution to investigate the police, which is not under the police. 2, the Guyana police force cannot investigate these murders.
Hughes also inferred that the family should not accept the regional security system's investigation or assessment. This is what he said.
They are both incapable. Let me tell you, they are both incapable. And if you want to pay tribute to these 2 sons here, do not accept a police investigation. And do not accept an investigation by the RSS.
He then pointed out that the government should give each family a minimum of $100 million, as Fagundes was a father of 4 and Peters was a father of 1. For AGP Nightly News, I am Dacia Richards.
Thank you, Dacia. The Guyana Power and Light Company continues to make flimsy excuses regarding the perpetual blackouts rather than taking corrective actions. This is according to David Patterson, former Minister of Public Infrastructure. Antonio Day has more.
Former Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson has sounded his voice on the high level of incompetence at the Guyana Power and Light Company amid persistent power outages. At a recent press conference organized by the Alliance for Change AFC, Patterson, who is also the party's chairperson, criticized the state for not doing more to address these problems.
The excuses provided by the PPP government has become a running joke to the citizens.
The government provided GPL with a $16 billion subsidy last year, or $18 million to address issues such as power generation shortfalls, the former Minister of Public Infrastructure told the press. He went on to say that this year the subsidy increased to $18 billion, which was approved in the 2025 budget. Patterson claims that these funds are not being used effectively by the power utility company's management.
Despite these large amounts of money, nothing has been accomplished. The management remains intact. Financial and commercial losses at GPL are at an all-time high, above 30%. Daily blackouts continue.
The AFC chairman made it clear that the government keeps touting the impending commissioning of the Wales Gas to Energy project. However, that reality would not alleviate the situation of power outages. According to Patterson, GPL must first address the numerous technical problems, particularly the remodeling of its power distribution lines.
The much vaunted silver bullet by the PPP, which is the Gas to Shore project, is languishing. And as always, we have said it will not solve the problems that are facing the country now.
Car Powership, a Turkish company, won the bid to supply the DBIS with an extra 60 megawatt in November of last year. The first power ship arrived in May last year to supply 36 megawatt, though it encountered several teething problems. The deal has faced criticism, with some arguing that the government should have instead invested in new generators. Then on April 4 last year, GPL inked agreements with Kalpataru and Power China for the extension of transmission lines totaling $422.2 million or roughly $90 billion. The purpose of this is to facilitate the power distribution from the future 300 megawatt power gas to energy power plant. Yet, power outages continue, which was the case put forward by Patterson.
Every single day, the country is faced with blackout.
I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. Vice President JAGDEO and President Irfan Ali seem to have differing views on whether the Commission of Information should be sacked now that civil society pickets his office weekly over the non-functioning of his office. As dozens of persons from civil society and the media continue to picket outside of the office of the Commission of Information on East Street over the non-functioning of the office and the non-delivery of required reports to Parliament, Vice President JAGDEO, instead of addressing the issue at hand, resorted to his usual Thursday afternoon rants and his usual style of ridiculing persons who speak out against anything under a People's Progressive Party civic regime.
In Guyana, people have the freedom to protest. So whether I agree with it or not, it's not germane here. They have the right to protest. Now, they may have a cause, individuals may have a cause, but when I look at some of the people who are protesting there, it's the same group of negative people.
Last week, President Irfan Ali told Stabrook News that the government does not intervene in the work of the Commission of Information. His vice president seemed to have a different view of whether Charles Ramson Sr. should be sacked.
Do you think that he should go, or do you think that they're just trying to cause?
I think the office of the president would have to examine this.
It is known that Commissioner Ramson, who is required by statutes to submit annual reports to Parliament, has not done so in over a decade. This does not seem to be a bother for the PPP administration because there is certainly no adherence to checks and balances with regards to the responsibility and good governance required for such an important function.
Once it doesn't involve a PPP, some PPP official wherever in the country, somewhere, they're intensely political. And I think they just want to create this air that the government is not being open. You yourself once asked me for all of the large contracts, mining contracts.
The protest outside the office of the Commission of Information is also part of a broader demand for legislative reform to decentralize the access to information process. Activists argue that ministries should be responsible for handling requests rather than a single commissioner. The Commission of Information, whose office has a $40 million annual budget, has failed to perform his duties prescribed by Guyana's Access to Information Act of 2011. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean it's time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Save up to $50,000 on select fridges. Get a free grill or mixer with select stoves and more. Need to upgrade your home? Get smart TVs from as low as $32,999. Plus, shop today and pay later. And make your first payment in 30 days with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends April 23, 2025.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
With 70% ethyl alcohol, Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer eliminates 99.99% of all germs and even moisturizes in the process, leaving your skin clean and hydrated. Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer. How do you stay clean?
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice fill pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Thanks for staying tuned here to the HGP Nightly News. Our developing story. It is remarkable that out of all the types of evidence that go missing from the custody of the Guyana Police Force, illegal drugs are the most frequent to disappear without a trace. Given the seriousness of these matters, it's mind-boggling that the country's law enforcement agency remains mum about such an important issue. Here is more. It has been 5 weeks since vital evidence disappeared from the custody of police, and there has been a deafening silence from the hierarchy of the force despite repeated media queries. Several kilos of cocaine seized as evidence during police investigations have allegedly gone missing from storage, and there are no reports of any police rank being held accountable for the disappearance of the drugs. Nightly News understands that several packages of the cocaine were first discovered missing during a handover at the storage bond. Testing on the remaining packages was ordered, and that's when investigators found the remaining packages were laced with flour. The Guyana Police Force has blatantly declined to provide a figure for the value of the cocaine that has gone missing. They also declined to provide information regarding the volume of the narcotics that have gone missing. But Nightly News found out that the cocaine had been seized since May of 2021 after two Brazilian men, Salim Nobrega de Alencar and Andre Luis Pereira, were arrested after a foreign registered aircraft, a four-seater Bonanza Beechcraft, crash-landed in the Oriala Savannah just before 2 p.m. A thorough search of that aircraft was conducted, and a total of 453 packages containing 1,000 pounds of cocaine were found, along with 2 GPS devices, 1 radio set, 3 mobile phones, 2 identification cards, and the aircraft's registration documents. The 2 men were immediately arrested after the discovery of the items was announced. The men had told residents of the community that they were visiting the area but started to experience some mechanical issues in the air, causing their fuel to run out and forcing them to crash land in the area. But residents became suspicious and immediately contacted the local ranks stationed in the area, who questioned the men and conducted a search of the aircraft, during which the cocaine was discovered. The men were arrested and charged with trafficking narcotics, but were eventually granted $3 million bail each after spending some time in prison. A credible source familiar with the investigation has told Nightly News that the powers that be are embarrassed about the situation and have instructed that such a matter be kept as much as possible out of the press. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Caribbean expert in artificial intelligence calls for a balance in leveraging this technology with journalism as a tool to combat misleading and inaccurate information. You'll have this story from Daisy Richards.
Speaking at a Guyana Press Association event last Thursday, Caribbean expert on artificial intelligence, Dr. Dusan Boyce, says that our AI technology is the future and it can enhance journalism. Dr. Boyce added that in Guyana, AI can coexist with journalism and as such can add a real value to the products emanating from this technology if used in a prudent manner.
The potential of AI is exponential, and anything that you do, including even investigative journalism, will be revolutionized from on the left to on the right.
He highlighted that artificial intelligence might soon be able to run an investigation. The artificial intelligence expert also expounded on AI being used for fact-checking in journalism.
You fact-check the AI, and you can also use the AI to fact-check you.
On the topic of misinformation, Dr. Boyce believes that the Caribbean region has not had the full blow of such instances, and added that misinformation with the use of AI can corrupt and mislead people.
Governments and companies can use AI corruptly to consolidate power. There's a role for journalists in delivering the bottom-up pressure to use AI to ethically promote transparency and to counter corruption.
Adding that AI is being used all over the world for transparency and in an effort to combating data blocks. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Thank you, Daisy. Improper and out of place, says Vice President JAGDEO, in response to statements made by the government of the People's Republic of China on the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy. Vice President JAGDEO has rebuked the Chargé d'Affaires of the Chinese embassy in Guyana over a statement he made at a recent press briefing, alluding that there should be negotiations between Guyana and Venezuela over the border controversy between the two countries.
And for the Chargé to now say we have to go back to bilateral discussion is improper and out of place. And that is what this statement mentioned.
Even though Mr. JAGDEO believes that the statements were improper and out of place, he reaffirmed his government's support for the One China policy.
The One China policy is the policy of the government of Guyana. It's a policy of most of the world, including that of the United States of America. And I don't see that changing.
It was the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who initially made it clear that the matter is pending before the International Court of Justice, a decision made by the United Nations Secretary General in accordance with the parties' 1966 Geneva Agreement on settlement of the controversy. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation said, too, that it has taken note that there has been no comment from the government of the People's Republic of China on the blatant announcement by the government of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela that it intends to conduct elections on May 25 for a governor and legislative council of Essequibo. Quote, "This is a clear violation of Guyana's sovereignty and territorial integrity," the ministry said. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. This is the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2025 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all Guyanese who meet the eligibility criteria to apply for registration. By doing so, you would be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official list of electors for future elections, providing you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on May 30, 2025. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at another address since you were registered. For more information, contact the GCOM on 2250-277-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Visit Gaffur's Tiles and Sanitary Ware Department for stunning designs and the best in wall and floor tiles for your kitchen, bathroom, outdoors, steps, living room, and more. The Tile Department also provides products to clean, polish, and protect your tiles. Tile trims to give your tile area a complete look. Tint sets for both porcelain and ceramic tiles, along with a variety of grout colors. Not forgetting tile paste to lay tiles on wood and concrete surfaces. Our line of products combine the ideal blend of style and innovation and meet the needs of every customer. We stock a vast variety of kitchen sinks, basins and faucets, toilets in a variety of colors and designs, along with every accessory to accentuate. Stylish double-mirrored bathroom cabinets, clear and frosted bathroom doors and enclosures. Remember, for secure customer services, superior quality and competitive prices, it's Gaffur's, the name you can trust.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean it's time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Save up to $50,000 on select fridges. Get a free grill or mixer with select stoves and more. Need to upgrade your home? Get smart TVs from as low as $32,999. Plus, shop today and pay later. And make your first payment in 30 days with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends April 23, 2025.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying with us. You will hear from Antonio Day now about the launch of a campaign about men's health awareness. The Health Awareness Campaign is a collaboration between the United States Embassy and local Guyanese group GOV'T. The campaign is specific to prostate issues affecting men in Guyana.
Only men have prostate glands, and these organs can become cancerous when cells within the prostate start to grow out of control. The primary function of the prostate gland is to produce seminal fluid, which is a component of semen that helps to nourish and transport sperms. With this being the case, one of the main goals of the Men's Health Awareness Campaign that Enrico Wolford and Andrew Douglas have launched in partnership with the U.S. Embassy in GOV'T is to encourage men to get tested for prostate cancer.
We were given this grant to promote men's health awareness and particularly focus on prostate cancer and make sure that people, men in particular, understand the need to be tested and screened.
Andrew Douglas, the Vice President of GOV'T, passionately shared insights about his organization's pivotal role in the initiative, which he acknowledged is targeting men ages 40 and above.
But the spirit of it is brotherhood, community, and development in men's health. Screening is easier now. There's a blood test, as Enrico said, and we want them to be aware because we do believe that if men get the information, they will make the right decision.
Douglas emphasized that due to a lack of early detection, prostate cancer has significantly killed a number of men in Guyana and to a lesser extent, the entire world. He said that in order to spread the message that prevention is preferable to cure, the recently launched campaign to raise awareness of men's health issues and track down conditions like prostate cancer will be decentralized.
Early detection is important to save their lives. And this campaign is going to vigorously send a message to all men in Guyana that they should listen and they should act.
If left untreated, prostate cancer will spread to the bones, especially the spine, and can result in fractures or paralysis, in addition to excruciating back pain. In Guyana, half of men with prostate cancer are already at stage 4, which precludes the possibility of curative treatment, according to recent data. In 2024, 136 men were found to have prostate cancer out of 15,000 prostate-specific antigen tests performed in public and private healthcare facilities. To improve prostate cancer outcomes in Guyana, health officials keep stressing the value of early screening and routine checkups. To this end, Wolford urged men to dispel the false narratives regarding the stigma attached to those who conduct prostate-specific antigen tests, as health takes precedence over stigmatization and misinformation.
The women are also concerned about you because they need your prostate to work properly so that they can enjoy and recreate and procreate with you. So it is very, very important that once you are at an age, usually 40, you need to be concerned about that particular part of your body.
I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Antonio Day will rejoin us now, and this time he will tell us that as the Christian community celebrates Easter, which signifies the resurrection of Jesus Christ, however, one religious leader is challenging citizens to not engage in acts of racism and segregation that would take the country of Guyana downward. Love, compassion, and unity should be promoted.
Father John Rodriguez of the St. Mary the Virgin Anglican Church in his Easter message said that acts such as racism, segregation, and disunity must no longer take center stage in Guyana.
Regardless of who we are, which ethnicity, which political background that you have, if we should love and reach out to each other, we can change this country and we can change the world.
Easter is one of the central holidays or holy day of Christianity. It honors the resurrection of Jesus 3 days after his death by crucifixion. For many Christian churches, Easter is the joyful conclusion to the Lenten season of devoted prayer, fasting, and penitence. If citizens reflect on the life of Jesus Christ, they would see that peace, love, and unity were his characteristics, according to Father John. He reasoned that it is impossible for mankind to say that they love God but despise his creation.
Our mandate is to love each other, unite with each other, and have peace with each other. That is my message to you out there. Be at peace with yourself.
The religious leader also left these words of encouragement for believers who may be confronted by challenges and may want to give up.
Your challenges is less than Jesus' victory. And because of Jesus' victory over sin and death through his resurrection, we also can rise with him under any circumstances we believe.
Kite flying, which is a synonymous activity during the Easter festivities, signifies the ascension of Jesus Christ into heaven. Father Rodriguez admonished that believers must not only be caught up with the commercialized aspect of Easter, but also be reminded by the spiritual significance. I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Your regional news is up next.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait, sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening, I'm Daisy Richards with Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Argentina. Argentines held a special mass and lit candles on Monday, mourning in shock for their countryman Pope Francis, who has died after battling serious illness in recent months. The mass was held in the cathedral in Buenos Aires, where Francis was once Archbishop. The building was adorned with a photo of the pontiff, bunches of white flowers, and the blue and the white flag of Argentina. The government said there would be 7 days of mourning. Argentina's presidential office praised Francis's focus on interreligious dialogue, building up spirituality amongst the young, and cost-cutting in the Vatican, something that tallies with President Javier Milei's quote-unquote chainsaw austerity. Milei, a bombastic free market economist, had clashed with the Pope, lambasting him as a socialist and even calling him devil's representative on the earth. But once he took office at the end of 2023, he patched things up. While in Dominica, national epidemiologist Dr. Shaludin Ahmed has emphasized the need for heightened vigilance and increased awareness following the recent uptick in leptospirosis cases in Dominica. At a Ministry of Health press conference ahead of the Easter holidays, Dr. Ahmed confirmed that since the last update in March, 7 new cases of the disease have been recorded. Just last month, the Ministry of Health reported 10 suspected cases on the island. Ahmed had reported that only 2 of those were confirmed positive for leptospirosis after testing from the Caribbean Public Health Agency. 1 man died as a result of the disease earlier this month. He had sought medical attention at a late stage of the infection and died from multi-organ failure, a severe complication of leptospirosis, Ahmed reported at the time. The new cases have been sporadically present in communities from Salbia in the east of the island to Stock Farm. Affected individuals were also found in other parts of the island. Leptospirosis is a zoonotic disease, which means it's transmitted between animals and humans. You can get infected through direct contact with urine or reproductive fluids from infected animals, particularly rodents. Finally, El Salvador President Nayib Bukele on Sunday proposed sending 252 Venezuelans deported from the U.S. and imprisoned in his country to Venezuela in exchange for taking quote-unquote political prisoners held by Venezuela. Among those Bukele proposed for release from Venezuela were journalists, human rights lawyer, and mother of Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who he said is subjected to daily threats at her home. He also mentioned nearly 50 detainees of other nationalities, including U.S., German, and French citizens, as part of the proposed exchange. Bukele said his foreign ministry would formally present the proposal to the Venezuelan government through diplomatic channels. Last month, the administration of President Donald Trump deported at least 200 Venezuelans from the United States to El Salvador, accusing them of being members of the trendy Aragua criminal gang. The U.S. is paying El Salvador $6 million to detain the migrants in its high-security terrorism confinement center. The Venezuelan government has said it has no political prisoners and that imprisoned people have been convicted of crimes. However, non-governmental organizations claim that more than 800 people are detained for political reasons. The Venezuelan government has denied that the Venezuelans deported by the U.S. have gang affiliations. Lawyers and family members of the detainees have also asserted that the migrants have no ties to criminal groups. On Saturday, the U.S. Supreme Court temporarily blocked the Trump administration from deporting another group of Venezuelan migrants accused of gang ties under a rarely used wartime law, issuing a stay after the American Civil Liberties Union asked the court to intervene on an emergency basis. Thank you for watching. Do have a great rest of the week. Until next time.
Government continues to make flimsy excuses as power outage situation worsens, says David Patterson. Police still silent on missing cocaine. Further testing of evidence revealed flour instead. Murdered Lindenders laid to rest amid call for justice. And his comments were improper and out of place, says VP JAGDEO, as he wraps the charge d'affaires of the Chinese embassy. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.